Hello and welcome. Welcome to This Time Africa, right here in the studios of Afrique Today. And for now, we're looking at women who have overcome barriers, women pioneers. We're looking at success stories of women. So, what's on this time? Our clock faces the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, and I'm glad to have on This Time Africa one of our own, Marie-Rose Sirikari, who is the founder, CEO, and president of the African Women Council, Inc., situated right here, Maryland of the USA. I'm glad to have you, Marie-Rose.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, I am so glad that you are here. We're talking about women breaking barriers, and I just believe that you are such a success story. When you wait on, viewers, listen to this. I walked into our office and I found, matter of fact, I wrote it down so I cannot forget. I saw that you have been recognized by the city of Gaithersburg in Maryland. Yes. And not only that, the Montgomery County also gave you a proclamation, yes, honoring what you do in the African Women Council.
Yes.
You also had a non-profit leadership certificate, a non-profit from the Non-Profit Leadership Institute, the UN Commission of Human Rights, and I could go on and on and on. Tell me a little bit about those honors and awards that you have received.
Thank you very much for inviting me, Ms. Matilda.
You're welcome.
We got this proclamation through the hard working we have been working in the community, and we started by City of Gaithersburg by educating the American culture and how to adjust, how to integrate into the American society so they can have the better life. From then, I was appointed as in ethnic affairs at the City of Gaithersburg, and during the African History Month, on behalf of the African Women Council, on behalf of the African History Month, I was recognized by the proclamation by the mayor of City of Gaithersburg. The mayor now, the former mayor of City of Gaithersburg, now is a council member, Cindy Katz, as contributing to the community by teaching the African community, and also they gave me that certificate as Marie-Rose Sirikari's Day. So my day, especially my name, I celebrated during the African American History Month, the date of 19.
Oh, let me just help you right there, because this is so significant that I want you all to understand that she was not only honored by giving a certificate, but they recognized you and gave you a day which is called the Marie-Rose Sirikari Day. I think that's so, it's something that we all need to applaud.
Yes.
Because it tells of how much work you put in. Mm-hmm. And I'm very glad that you mentioned that one of the things that you've been trying to do, yes, is to get Africans to be incorporated, to understand the African American system and how it works.
Yes.
And so you're bringing people to that table, mm-hmm, so they're able to find themselves around.
Yes.
Can you say something about that?
I would like to add also that during that educating the African immigrant, the American culture, and I found that, but then I did not know that I can be recognized. I didn't know that the African can work in a partnership or can be recognized with the government. We were just working on our own as helping to help the community, because that was my passion, and also trying to get membership who can be part of the African Women Council.
That's very, very, very good, very great. And I see that you've worked so hard. How long did you start this organization again?
We started this organization in 2002 in the state of Maryland.
Very good, very good. And so we've just talked about some of the recognition that you've had, but I also had through the grapevine, I had some whisper that you're also going to get another award in New York.
Yes.
Wow. Tell us about it.
For the great work, and Africa Women Council also, we are international with the mission of empowering African women in Africa. And also I started by the Democratic Republic of Congo. And this award is this award is accumulating of the service we are working in the community, and also advocate for women in Africa, so women can also participate in the decision making, in financial decision making, and so participating in the community to be able to be self-sufficient and help their community and the government. Not only women can stay in the kitchen having babies, cleaning the clothes, and also women can be up there and also their right of participating in decision making.
I think it's something that we cannot emphasize enough, that women are not part of the menu. Women are part of decision making. And I'm so glad that your organization, which is the African Women Council, is preparing women not only here in the United States, but also focusing on Africa, especially the DRC where you come from, to prepare leadership, women leadership, to be projected into probably seats of government in the future. So how do you go about that from here and the DRC? Do you have representatives already in DRC, or is it something that you go yourself and organize training?
First of all, this will be the first time. We went there to organize the community. We have the ground representative, which also is an organization, Organized Women. And we came here to advocate for our women in Congo, and we found out it is too much because of the conflict going on, and we try now to advocate for the economic development, because most of the infrastructure has been destroyed. No roads, no energy, no electricity, no the farmers road, the roads, how do you call it? the roads which you can use for farmers. So we decided to advocate for economic development initiative by initiating sister state between the state of Maryland and the North Kivu province, the Democratic Republic of Congo. We cannot do that when all the systems are destroyed. So that will be the barrier for us. But with the investment, we can be able to help them, because that investment can help them to find jobs. Because women are not only farmers. We have women who are professionals who need the jobs. We have young men who need jobs. Everybody we are working on helping them to achieve.
That is so good. So with investment, meaning that we need your contribution to the African Women Council to ensure that the training of women leadership, so that they too can be on the seat making the decisions that affect their lives and their families.
Yes.
That's what we're saying.
That's what
when
we're
we
saying.
come back, we'll be talking about her inspiration.
I forgot.
Afric Today presents Diaspora Business Network, Friday, March 22nd from 6 to 9 p.m. Silver Spring Civic Building. Theme, African Diaspora, Business in Media. If you're an entrepreneur or have a nonprofit organization, this is the place you need to be. Silver Spring Civic Building, One Veteran Plaza, Silver Spring, Maryland, on March 22nd at 6 p.m. Get your free ticket today at event.africtoday.com. Afric Today, the best of digital TV.
So I will start. Welcome back to This Time Africa, and I'm your host here, Matilda Banga, right here in the studios of Africa Today, and we are talking about women who are breaking barriers, women who are pioneers, women's success stories, right here on This Time Africa. Once again, our clock is turned to the Democratic Republic of Congo, and again I have here with me my sister Marie-Rose Sirikari, the founder and CEO president of African Women Council Inc., right here in the state of Maryland, United States of America. And of course we're talking about your successes and all the accolades and awards and recognition by the government, and you wanted to add something.
Yes, Matilda, thank you for inviting me to your studio. Again, I got the proclamation for the city of Gettysburg by the former mayor, Sidney Cards, now who is county council member. In 2008, I was helping the African immigrant community by educating them the American culture. And from there, I was appointed at the Ethic Affairs in the city of Gettysburg. That's how I received the proclamation from the mayor of city of Gettysburg.
So that means you've been working hard.
Yes.
And let me tell you why I admire you, because when I spoke to you before studio time, you told me that you have a background of electronic or electrical. You have an electrical background, so you actually work with your hands to put stuff together.
Yes.
So how did you jump from that, and what's your inspiration to do what you're doing now?
Actually, I came to this country as a refugee. I didn't speak English, and I was sponsored by the former county executive, Charles Gilchrist, and who helped me, asked me what I want to do. I said, I don't want to go too much to the academic because I have children who need education. I decided now to have to take a technical class so I can be able to work as soon as possible. So I got my diploma in electronics and electrical assembly, and I assemble all the electronic devices, including cable, and I'm an electrician, and I have experience in that. That's how I end up becoming a technician. Thank you.
You know what? That's where we're talking about women breaking barriers and overcoming challenges. And you are quite a good picture from being an electrician and then becoming the founder and the CEO of the African Women Council, where you take young women and train them to become leaders who sit at the table to become decision makers in your country. What is the African Women Council doing now to galvanize other African women in the community?
We are reaching them out to understand that African women has the role to play in the society, in the community, and also in the government. African women should not just stay back in their houses, making babies and cooking food and back home. We have to train women to go back home, to train other women how also they can be successful in business, they can be successful, they can be the CEO, they can be somebody in their lives. But I'm talking about that right of women, but they also have to work together with their husbands. So to be successful, to have that right of sitting at the table doesn't mean that to disrespect their husband. They have to work in partnership.
Well, we have the culture, and I'm glad you said that, because the feminism and the rights of women does not exclude our men, because we have to understand that we need one another. But what you're saying, and I would like viewers to understand, is that we have had times when it was the woman in the kitchen.
Yes.
But now we are at the table, and we should be at the table.
Yes.
I think it's so important because we as women understand the family more. We are more with the children. We are in the community. We are the teachers. We're just everything. We are everywhere. So I think that if decisions have to be made, we must be consulted. We must be part of that decision.
Yes.
I want to talk about economic empowerment, because when you talk about empowering women economically. And I've always said this, and I want you to just touch a little bit on it, that if you are not economically empowered, even if you go back to the DRC, people will not listen to you. I think that for you to have the authority, for women to be able to speak, we need to empower them, not only educationally, but we need to empower them economically, even if it has to mean starting from a little farm, giving them microcredit and all of that to do their work. What do you think? Because those are my thoughts.
That is very important, Ms. Matilda. It's very difficult in Africa particularly, with our own traditional mentalities. I don't know if I can call it mentality. It's like tradition.
Yes.
Most of women, they think that they cannot, not some of them, but they can't do anything without, because there are some job which only they think that is only their husband who can do that. But I want to tell them that women also has this qualification, because they're the one who provide the food table in the kitchen, at the table. They are the one who raise up the children. They are the one who take care of the family. I think they can take care also their community, not only in a farming, but we have professionals who can participate in different kind of position in the government. That's what I'm talking about, to have the decision making, and also to be able to empower them financially to can be able to do that, because without finance they cannot be where they can be.
That's so true. That's you. I mean, you are so right. And I have seen. We all know that Africa has seen the first women president. Africa has seen that, in Liberia and other countries, and Africa has seen governors. And right here in the United States of America, we got a Muslim, somebody from, is it Somalia? That was the first female.
Yeah, it's in the Senate, in the Congress. Yes.
In the Congress. Yes. How, I mean, that's so laudable. Is that some of the things that African Women Council is doing? How do we support a woman like that, or other women who probably in the future would like to, run that race?
Yeah, we are doing that. Most of the time, I'm seeing the angle in Africa. I'm trying to see that women in Africa can be like women in the U.S.
Yes.
Because in the U.S. everything is possible. And also, I didn't know that. And thank also the county executive, Ike Leggett, who give the table for the African immigrant community to be able to express themselves and their thought, their idea, if there is any needs, to come up to the table and talk about what they need to do. So county executive provide us that table. That's how I'm here. I feel like I'm strong to be able to express myself, what I think in my mind and what I believe in for the African back home in Africa.
That's correct. And so what Marie-Rose was saying, that Ike Leggett actually set the pace to provide the African Affairs Advisory Council, which brings together people from different backgrounds
Yes.
and leadership to discuss the things that are relevant to them.
Yes.
And not only that, but how also we can add our voice
Yes.
to the things that are important to us. I'm going to ask you this question. So do you have your eyes on the house? The house meaning, you know what I mean?
No. I
The
don't.
house here or the house in Congo?
No. I have to provide this one to train young who has that vision to be in the house.
Great.
My job is just to train the young women and men to be in that position, not me. My job is to train them.
Oh, that's very good. That's very good. But I know that, I mean, from my interaction with you, I know that you are very supportive
Yes.
of any woman who would like to, you know, probably run that race to,
Yes.
to the house. So what's the future of AWC? Where do you see yourself, your ultimate objective or ultimate goal for AWC?
I've seen the goal is seeing that we are training women. I see the women succeed in Africa, not only the Democratic Republic of Congo, and our program is large. We can also multiply it in different countries, so women can be able to, they can succeed in our program. Yes.
Oh, I like that, because for those of you who may be listening and looking at and watching this show today, so it means that if you are in a different country, you can also be part. Do you have partnership programs from different countries to be part of the AWC?
We are promoting African women
That's
from
right.
different countries to be part of the AWC, so they can take advantage of that program.
And so how can we reach you, for listeners and people who don't know? What's your website and your email?
They can reach us at 240-615-1749, or they can reach us, email marie-rose@africanwomen-usa.org, and also they can go to our website, www.africanwomen-usa.org.
Thank you very much. But you know what? I know that we will not leave the studio today if I don't ask you, because behind every success, there are underlying challenges. And I know that in as much as you've received all of these laudable, awards and all of that, I'm sure that you must have gone through some challenges. How have you been? Maybe just tell me one or two of the challenges, and how have you been able to overcome them?
The challenge, it has, challenge also is, the challenge is funding, finance. That's the challenge. So we have to sacrifice ourselves. We use all the money we have in our pocket to do what we have to do, and to do what we have to do to help the community. It depends of passionate. And the challenge also is about educating the African to understand the way the American works. I don't know if I can put
I mean, the system, the American system.
The American system. That's the challenge, because we still have to educate the African women to understand the culture, to understand the system, to understand like the way we understand back home. We need to understand also the we talk about the system, or I don't know if it's the right word.
I think so.
To understand.
In French, it's what? Qu'est-ce que tu veux dire en français?
Je voulais dire. Je voulais dire la culture américaine. Understand la culture américaine, pas seulement la culture de danser, la culture de manger, mais la culture de penser.
The way you think. So what she's saying, that it's not just the culture of dancing and eating, but the culture of thought, redefining our thought so that we can walk towards the purpose.
The purpose.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. See, I threw in my little bit of French in there.
Yes.
So Marie, personally, what would you say are what is the one thing that makes you wake up in the morning and want to go on with AWC? What's the one thing?
is, you know what, I want to, is just to have the legacy. Most of the time, you know, we need to see where we are coming from and where we are going, and what we are leaving behind. What are we leaving behind for our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren? That is what drove me through. This is something I should have done that in the early age, but I tried to do that to inspire children. And I forgot something also. I grew up in the Girl Scout.
Ah, the Girl Scout, yes.
I grew up in the Girl Scout since I was in elementary school.
I was part of the Girl Scout too.
Until I became a guide.
Okay.
A guide. So that also helped me, give me that passion to follow what I learned in my childhood, and I continue to do this even
till today.
Until today.
And you just hit something on the head, the legacy, because we Africans, well, some school of thought feel like we are not honoring our heroes or heroines, or we're not honoring our role models from Africa enough. And in fact, that's the reason why this time Africa is being created, so that we can honor those people from Africa who are doing their best, especially in this time, women who are overcoming barriers, women who have success story. But I think that it is so crucial that as women, African women in particular, that we must work to leave a legacy.
Yes.
We must work to leave a legacy. There should be no gap. There should be no gap at all between the time that you feel like you want to retire.
Yes.
Somebody should be able to carry on the torch
yes.
of the AWC.
That's exactly, we know what I'm coming from.
Go ahead.
Someone need to take the torch.
Yes.
When we are going aside, young people can take over.
Yes.
To carry on.
Yes.
Which we don't have it sometime in Africa.
Yes.
You find that many people becoming old still want to stay in the position.
And is that reflective of also what happens in the governments? Because if your desire is to leave a great legacy, you know, you'll be proud to leave at the right time.
Yes.
So that, in fact, when you leave at the right time, you can now become an advisor, you can become the consultant,
yes.
and you impart your experience
yes.
to the leaders and to other people that you have nurtured.
Right. And because of all this, our idea and our work, March 16, African Women Council will receive the African Powership Partnership Award at the United Nations, New York, March 16 at 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock at the United Nations. Africa Women Council will receive the African Powerful Partnership Award.
That's great. Hold your thought right there. And when we come back on This Time Africa, we will be closing out with Marie Rose Sirikari, the president and founder of African Women Council, and we will have her last thoughts on this conversation, Women Breaking Barriers. We'll be right back.
Africa Today presents Diaspora Business Network, Friday, March 22nd from 6 to 9 p.m. Silver Spring Civic Building. Theme, African Diaspora, Business and Media. If you're an entrepreneur or have a nonprofit organization, this is the place you need to be. Silver Spring Civic Building, One Veteran Plaza, Silver Spring, Maryland, on March 22nd at 6 p.m. Get your free ticket today at event.africtoday.com. Africa Today, the best of digital TV.
Welcome back to This Time Africa, and this is your host, Sia Matilda Banga, right here on Afrique Today. And wrapping up with me here, Mary Rose Sirikare, the president and founder of African Women Council. One more question for you, Mary Rose, before we leave today. I know an award is coming up in New York, and you were talking about it in the last segment. Is this open for other women to go and support you? What would you like to say to our viewers?
Yes, Matilda, everything is possible and people can join us. To join us, for more information, they can go to this website, agrobees.org. They can get all the information. I'm going to spell it. agrobiz.org. agrobees.org. That's for more information. They can check that website.
And when is the award going to be given again? What date? And I know it's in New York, but what date is it? So that
it will be March 16, 2019 at the United Nations Plaza, one at the headquarters of the United Nations.
The headquarters of the United Nations it is. So if you would like to go and support African Women Council and support Mary Rose in particular, please join her in New York on March 16, 2019 at the United Nations head office. And now, Mary Rose, what would you like to say finally to your viewers and your listeners?
I would like to thank you for our viewers, and also I would like to also to thank Afrique Today for allowed me to their studio to talk about African Women Council and our achievement and where we are going, and we would like to continue to do the show, and I would like Afrique Today, I don't know what I can say.
And to support you. Thank you very much, everyone. And this has been your show, This Time Africa. And I'm your host again, Sia Matilda Banga. You stay tuned. Download the app from Afrique Today. Go to www.afriquetoday.com. Also, go on YouTube. Go on Twitter. We're right there on 4 platforms. Watch us. We'll be back next time. And this is the season talking about women breaking barriers. See you next time.